Good morning, coaches. How are you doing? So it's Sanai Floyd here, and today I want to talk to you about a mindset shift to support you massively to feel more powerful in your business and in your life. And this is particularly for you if you sometimes feel somewhat victimized, let's call it, by your subconscious beliefs. Now, what I mean by that is perhaps you feel very aware that you have some beliefs and some blocks that don't serve you, some subconscious beliefs and blocks that block the flow of money and clients, that always create situations where you might have money coming in and then something breaks down. You have a huge, home repair, or the washing machine breaks down, or something happens that affects you negatively and causes you to feel somehow, as I said, victimized by your subconscious beliefs. Like you go within and you think there must be something going on inside of me. And my favorite was, what's wrong with me? Why do these things always happen? So it could be a situation that's shaken you, something that's happened that has caused you to feel vulnerable or insecure or completely triggered, or maybe it's something that you find yourself experiencing a lot, like something happens and you just think, why does this always happen to me? So it's essentially negative manifestation, for want of a better word. You're manifesting something that you don't want, even if it's a lack of something, for example, a lack of clients or a lack of money flowing into your business. So what we tend to do, or what we're taught to do, and this was certainly what I used to do and used to believe, is that yes, I must have some beliefs and blocks that is perpetuating this situation. And when I look back at that thought process, that way of seeing the world, it could be seen as empowering because I create my own reality. I take complete responsibility for everything that I'm manifesting, good and bad. But also it caused me to judge myself and feel slightly disempowered by stuff that was inside of me that I didn't know about, that I didn't have a handle on. And so my natural proclivity was to dive deep and excavate and try and figure out, what is my money story? What are all my negative stinking beliefs from my childhood? Like, what situations did I grow up in or experience that must have created these beliefs and blocks that are now negatively creating a situation, that are affecting me negatively, that are perpetuating situations I don't want? So that was how I used to think. So there's some conflict there, right? On the one hand, yes, I create my own reality, I'm really powerful. And then the other side is, yeah, but there's this unseen stuff within me that is creating this negative stuff that I don't know about. Like, it's so deep within me, I don't even know what my beliefs are. So that would cause me to feel somewhat disempowered. Now, I want to share with you a reframe, and this has been a recent reframe for me, and it really came into its own this weekend when I realized, oh my God, this shift is super empowering. Now I think this new way. It's very, very simple. Now I think this new way. I don't feel victim. I don't worry about all these unconscious beliefs and blocks that are running my life. Oh my God, I don't feel that anymore. And as a result, that's kind of next level of feeling empowered and powerful. So I'll give you a quick story. So I live on my own with my dog Joey, my fur baby, and so sometimes I can get a little bit like, oh, it's all on me. If something goes wrong in the house and I'm not sure what to do about it, and I'm there on Checker Trader trying to find a tradesman, I can feel a little bit sort of just a bit frustrated that it's all on me. Like, I have to pay for the repairs, I have to sort it all out. If I don't know what I'm doing, who do I ask? What do I do? So sometimes I can get a little bit into that state of mind. And over the summer, I had to pay over £8,000 for a huge roof repair on the front of my roof, and it had been going on for a while, this leak, and it reached a point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. I tried my best, couldn't ignore it anymore, and I made the investment and repaired the roof, and I was really happy with that. And then last week we had some real torrential downpours and the other side of my roof has started to leak. So it was in the middle of the night, it was only Thursday last week, 2 a.m. I just woke up to the sound of the torrential rain, and I just had this awful feeling, just this feeling of like, I need to go check my attic. I feel like something doesn't quite feel right. So I bear in mind, it's 2 a.m. I went up into the attic and there was 2 leaks, drip, drip, drip onto the floor. So immediately I felt the contraction. I went into lack and scarcity, but I experienced this contraction in my chest, my solar plexus, and just this, again, this feeling of like, oh God, no, I don't need this right now. I don't need this, oh my goodness, I thought I was repaired and coming into autumn and winter, this is just terrible. So that was where my mind went. And I felt pretty low about it. And so over the weekend, I had a busy weekend, and I started to do stuff around the home just to create some certainty. So I needed some certainty back. So this is the first thing I would say to you. If you're kind of feeling like, why is this happening? I felt I needed some certainty. So in creating certainty, what I did was, the first thing, I started to clean up and organize. And my loft has been a mess for a long time. So I started to get everything sorted in the loft and tidy up. I put buckets where the leaks were, and I just started to tidy up. And then the second thing to create certainty was I immediately jumped on to source a roofer, and I got some recommendations from family and got a roofer's name, and I contacted them. So again, it's creating that certainty that I'm dealing with this situation. It's not really a problem, it's just a situation that needs to be dealt with now. So I contacted a roofer, and they're coming out this week. So I sort of took some action. But in the meantime, I was very aware of that sensation that was lingering, this contraction, this feeling of like lack around, oh my God, how much is this going to cost? And oh no, and all that sort of scarcity and contraction that I was feeling in my body. So what I went into, and this is where my thought process was slightly different. So in the past, I might have started to consider, oh my God, this has happened again. When money flows in, oh my God, it just flows straight out again. I must have some limiting beliefs and blocks, and then get scared of my own kind of power to create these negative situations, and worrying about like, what is this belief, and trying to go back into my past, and what was there that I'm unconscious to. So instead of doing that this time, I lent into gratitude. Thank you. Because if everything is by design, if this experience has been brought to me, instead of kind of looking at, I've manifested this situation due to some unconscious belief, instead, thank you, expanded self, higher self, source, whatever, thank you for creating this situation for me to then have my limiting beliefs, my dormant subconscious beliefs and blocks brought to the surface, because that is exactly what is happening in that moment that I'm triggered. In the moment that you feel all the feels in a negative situation and all the thoughts that accompany all the feels in that negative situation, that is those dormant blocks and beliefs coming to the surface. They're rising to the surface. They've been triggered out of dormancy to the surface for you to clear, effectively for you to clear. So it's like, thank you for giving me this situation that produced the charge, that produced all the mental noise in the form of judgment, in the form of limiting beliefs, in the form of lackful thinking. Oh my God, they're all in there. So it's not the situation that is creating that, it's what's inside of me that is creating the situation. And yet I have to have the situation to bring it to the forefront of my mind. So in that situation, I was able to express gratitude for this situation because it brought it all to the forefront of my mind, to my conscious mind. I was able to journal on the thoughts and realize, oh my God, all this lackful thinking, all these lies. And with the sensations in my body, I was able to process them simply by allowing them to be there and relaxing and releasing around them. So not getting all tense up and then going, oh my God, this is really happening. It's having that witness consciousness to look at the sensations in my body and think, wow, gosh. The way to separate yourself, the way to create that sort of witness consciousness perspective is through keen observation, not identifying with the sensations in your body and saying, oh my God, I'm really anxious right now. Oh, this charge. It's separating yourself. And you can separate yourself through, the best way I find is to describe what's happening. So I might say, oh my God, it's like the chest is contracting. There's a tightness here. If I was to give it a color, this would be the color I would give it. It's moving or it's still, it feels heavy, feels thick, or it's a bit sort of like a cloud. So you start to find these ways to describe the sensation, which gives you a sense of separation from it. And then as you relax around it, it's allowed to travel through you. That's all it wants to do. Feelings just want to be felt. So as you allow it to be there and observe it, it's like darkness cannot survive in the light. So as you observe it, you're shining a light on it, and it must transmute. I do this because it's almost like that energy is allowed to disperse. It's allowed to move through you. Whereas when you get gripped by it and you identify with it, you hold on to it, you self-soothe or do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better. But all you do is you push it back down for the next time. So it will so see yourself as being guided into situations that are your higher self guiding you to the situation that is your next level of growth, or any remnants that you can release from inside of you. So now I know, I'm so grateful. This situation showed me where I still feel sometimes insecure and vulnerable and small and lackful. Let that go. And now I'm able to stand in my power and say, oh my God, what an incredible experience. I have just grown through that experience. Now I can deal with it without any fear, without any worry, or it is what it is, and I'll deal with it. But there's none of that negative charge around it. So I hope this helps, just shifts that reframe, because I hear it all the time. I'm going to dive deep into my beliefs, and yes, that's great, but do it in the moment that an experience is being shown to you, rather than when you're feeling in a good state. You don't need to excavate. Just go on with your day, follow your bliss, do what feels good for you in the moment. Just, keep going until something will show up that is a sign for your next level of growth. Okay, so I hope you found this helpful. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.